Okay, so now we are getting ready for the very last panel discussion for today's afternoon session. And the topic would be digital transformation in HR, leveraging AI and data analytics. To join us, we have quite a few panelists. So let's start with the moderator of the session, that is Mr. Kallol Chakraborty, Head Group Corporate HR, INOXGFL Group. Sir, can you please come on stage? Yeah. A big round of applause, guys, for the moderator. The first panelist in this is Ms. Sneha Agarwal, GM HR, Hitachi India. Claps, guys, claps. It's the last panel discussion. Thank you. Ms. Harshita Khanna, CHRO, Bharat Pay. Okay, Ms. Kumkum Agarwal, yeah. The Director, Talent Execution, Vedanta Group. Okay, there's one more name of Ms. Parul Johar, and she'll be joining in next 10 to 15 minutes. And now the next name is Mr. Ashish Saran, Regional Head HR, Sony India. Ashish, sir? Okay, he's not there. Now the last name is Ms. Diksha Singh, Head BHR and CSR, PTL and Transmission CB Projects, Tata Power. Yeah, Parul ma'am will be joining in, I think, next 15 minutes. So we'll tell you once she'll be here. Okay, now, so I'll repeat. The topic of this panel discussion would be digital transformation in HR, leveraging AI and data analytics. Over to the moderator and the panelists. Thank you.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone, and good afternoon to my fellow panelists. I think this is the most hottest and the in thing, not only in HR, but in all functions. And in any of these sort of technology interventions, everybody thinks that HR is the softest target, right? And people feel that अभी AI आया है तो what would be the HR heads doing and HR managers doing, because everything can be done through AI by the line managers. So a very interesting topic of what HR can do. And with not much ado, I would request the panelists to introduce themselves. I'll start from the panelist who is in my extreme right.
Hi everyone, good evening again, and I'm Kumkum Agarwal. I take care of the talent acquisition for the group at Vedanta. We are a metal and mining conglomerate, and it's been a great journey managing multi-country talent for the group. As Kallol already mentioned that, this is the buzzword. It's no more just a buzzword, but the lives that we live every day. Day in, day out at our offices. I'm sure my panel members, co-panel members will also agree that AI is no more a buzzword. It's the life that we live. Coming to where we've come from, I think it's been 2 decades of experience, and I remember the times when we used to headhunt people by making calls and not knowing where the person worked. So, from there to everything readily available at GPT and the co-pilots of the world, I think we've come a long way. My experience spans from Conferry to Randstad to Kelly Services, and I've been fortunate enough to get global experience in all these organizations. Happy to be here today, and thank you, organizers, for having me over.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Harshita Khanna. I'm here as one of the co-panelists. I work for BharatPay currently. I have over 18 years of experience. I joined BharatPay. I think most of you know what is BharatPay, so I really don't have to give that introduction because there has been, everyone is using UPI, so I'm sure you would know BharatPay very well. Prior to this, I was with an organization called Home Credit, which was an NBFC. I was there for almost a decade. And I have experience in organizations like Nokia, Aon Hewitt, which is a consulting organization, and also DXC Technology, which is in the space of the IT.
Hello, everyone. If you are in workplace, it's not the compensation or the training that you look forward. You look forward to a culture and a place where you can truly feel belonged. And that's my job. Neha Agarwal this side, and I'm from Hitachi, India. And Hitachi is not just an organization that builds AC. It is also into rail, lift, elevators, payments, technologies, and what you can think of, a lot more than that. So we have around 45,000 people in India with 26 entities, legal entities, out of 405 entities across the world and 300,000 employees around the world. So that's about me, and to know me more, I think LinkedIn is a better platform to know you and connect. Let's connect there.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm evening is looking forward. I'm Diksha. I heads the HR and CSR for Tata Power. And I started my career in 2005. So Kotak was my first job. And since 2009, I'm with Tata Power. I'm into various domains, starting from international HR to, JV and subsidiaries, cluster formation, transformation lives. So a varied experience with the same company. So that's about me, and I'm privileged to have here with my co-panels, with coming with a lot of experience from wide industries. Looking forward for a good, learning session here collectively. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I'll just, in short, tell you people how the whole moderation would be done. I will calling upon each one of them to delve on one or the other aspects of AI in HR, and then the other panelists will chip in, and then we will flip the context halfway. Okay, so I hope that you will find it very entertaining, very engaging, and finally there are a lot of notes which will help you in your next few days, where you keep remembering what can AI do. So I'll start with you, and you can something you tell us about what you have done so far by using AI in your company, one aspect of HR. And the other panelists can then chip in a minute or so. So you have got around 4 minutes to talk. I'm a very bad timekeeper because I started my career as a timekeeper. I'm the group HR head of INOXGFL. I've spent 15 years there. And whatever I am today here, I can tell about two institutes. One is my education in St. Xavier's Durgapur and 15 years in Unilever. So that is why I'm here. And after that, it has been always giving my learnings to the organization. So that's me. Yeah, over to you, ma'am.
Lovely to be sharing panel and insights with you all
Yes.
today. As Diksha mentioned,
Your
I
time
think
starts now.
diverse experiences is what we have on the table today. And since I've done a lot of talent acquisition, for a long 2 decades. I think that's the subject that I would want to speak. But of course, personally, I do now enjoy my journey from acquiring to beyond, acquisitions, right from management, talent management to total rewards as well. On the TA piece, just going a little back, there were times when AI used to be a word that no one knew. It was more like, what is this AI? What is artificial intelligence all about? I don't think so. It's a reality, is what the earlier responses were. But today we live that life at Vedanta on a daily basis. Every step of talent acquisition. And across the HR domain, I think TA was the first department which used to be always like, let's start with TA. If AI, why not TA? So right from sourcing to selection to, AI interviews at leadership hiring is something that we have transformed at Vedanta, you know. And when we started leadership hiring, and when we started with AI interviews for leaders, we used to get a response, how would leaders react to artificial intelligence, and how would they react to talking to a chatbot? But, you know, the data says more than 90% of the people were very happy with this disruptive idea of talking to a chatbot, or and you know, having a diverse kind of an interaction with AI. Coming to how we transformed, we started with the sourcing piece. I mean, right from formulating the JD to you know, to contacting the candidates, to doing AI emails. We use a lot of LinkedIn. There's a Liha assistant that we use, LinkedIn hiring assistant. It's almost like a, you know, assistance that you get on artificial intelligence basis. They help you map candidates. They help you stack rank the candidates. Right from the sourcing and the screening to the interview, I think the whole life cycle is all backed with artificial intelligence. We haven't removed the human element, as we all know that, you know, these are very strategic decisions. We can't be relying on artificial intelligence throughout. But from a transformations perspective, the whole cycle, the whole life cycle of hire to retire, and particularly if I talk about the hiring piece, most of it we've you know, built in artificial intelligence. We've also integrated a lot of separate platforms which takes the candidates to interview sessions, interaction sessions, and has been a full cycle there. But happy to you know, double click more once we have thoughts from everyone.
Yes, anything you people would like to add on the resourcing part of it, whether you have done something on AI, or any comments you would like to make on usage of AI on talent acquisition?
I think while AI is quite useful in TA, what is important as an HR, we should not forget, is the human touch. And that human touch, if you miss, I think if we are getting intelligent in doing hiring through AI, the interviewer is also getting intelligent. So most of the resumes which we actually see today are pretty much AI generated. So if you totally rely on AI, trust me, at one given point of time, you'll be fooled, and you'll have people who are far more smarter in this space of technology will take over the edge. So human touch should always remain, while we can have processes which can reduce time to hire, can also help our recruiters in terms of sourcing, but human touch is important.
Sneha, you would like to add anything?
In my view, Kallol, AI is something whose depth is unfathomable. So if you are talking about AI just for recruitment, I think it's much more than resume screening and creating those spots where we can rely on the human judgment and not AI judgment. It's much more than that. In today's world, when we are adopting AI, it's also about very judicious use and ethical use of it. So what we are entering in AI and what we are screening with respect to the filtration of the personal data, that becomes also a point of concern. So for me, AI for recruitment is yes, a plus, ultra plus, Surf Excel or Arial, whatever you call it. It is a boon, but yes, at the end of the day, it is just an enabler. So that's my word. Thank you.
Anything you would like to add?
AI in terms of recruitment and identifying a right talent, not only externally, but we do a lot of group evaluations as well. So the employees who are currently working, how they can be suited to the available profiles and roles, and how we can customize the capability development in line with the support of AI. I think that is very helpful to us. And these AI tools have been used by their reporting managers, their reviewers, so they know the employee, so that human touch part is there. At the same time, they are leveraging their skills and AI platform to moderate the development journey for them, for the new career progression for them. So that's how it has been very beneficial all throughout these years.
Agreed. I think internal plus external, the both works hand in hand. It can't be just the external piece. So true.
Right. I think then as a panel, we think that yes, AI has got a major role in resourcing, but not to miss the human touch. If anyone has got any contact with Google for any positions, they do at least 13 rounds of interviews. Okay, I'm sure they would be using AI. And if I tell my chairman that I'm going to do this interview, this is the candidate which we have sorted out through AI. The first thing he says that no, I want to meet him because he's going to be a top leader. I want to see that whether I'm going to be comfortable with him or not. I don't think that any AI tool can actually measure the comfort level of two people. So that's the flip side. AI good, but not to miss the human touch. Over to you, ma'am. Neha, I would go to you because what I think that you can delve on induction and compensation. Over to you, Neha. Then others will also join in.
So, since we earlier spoke about AI for recruitment, I think the next step when we hire is induction or onboarding. And for me, onboarding has two parts. So usually our focus, 80% of the focus is on operational work, which is like getting the forms filled, getting formalities done, the compliance. Person should know all the policies, practices, should know which department, where to go and all. But for me, onboarding has a very softer side and very important side to it, which is the psychological bonding and the emotional bonding during those first 90 days. And AI can actually facilitate a lot for that. How? So, AI can actually eliminate all of your 80% operational tasks. So, the transactional work is done. Now, you have all the room for giving that space to the person to build the connection, and for the organizations to give the time to candidate to understand the culture. So while you have set up everything, why not to gamify it? My experience with induction Kallol and the panelists goes long way when it comes to AI. So Hitachi has one of the group companies called Global Logic, which is a pioneer in technology. And they started doing induction with a gamified version. So for every task you do, for every file you upload, for every training or module you take, for every compliance you hit, you get some points. And that creates a competitive spirit among all the new joinees. And that gives a flavor of getting into a game rather than just completing the formalities. And then you assign a chatbot, which act as the first level buddy. So your most of the task, you know why people doesn't like to be a buddy? Because all of those mundane questions, the transactional questions, यहाँ कैसे जाए, वो कैसे करे, ये कैसे करे, यहाँ पे छुट्टियाँ लेंगे तो क्या हो जाएगा, ऐसे छुट्टी ले सकता हूँ क्या, ऐसे सर्टिफिकेट दे सकता हूँ क्या? All those questions can be handled by the chatbot. And then what we are left with is the real connection with the new employee, which is very critical when you talk about those first 90 days. So first 90 days, absolutely a yes for AI to build in the induction or onboarding. And then you talk further when you are talking about psychological bonding or emotional bonding. And that is the key point where you actually hit the note. You seriously are in the process then to retain your employee for long. So that's the strategy wherein AI can really, really help. And that's where I completely agree with you that AI is not just to hire, but also to take the journey to retire. Thank you.
You want to add anything?
Pretty much covered, but I feel, I mean, we resonate a lot with the gamification idea, and virtual reality is another thing that we use a lot, in terms of scale. In fact, when it's a large scale, I mean, a group like ours, where we know there are multiple businesses, we need standardization across the groups. These are the few things that really take a long, take the employee feel very, very belonged and goes a long way. So completely agree and resonate well.
Yes. When she was talking about induction, I just went close to 18 years back. when I joined my first organization, Hewitt Associates, which is an HR consulting organization. And I remember my induction was for 4 days. And in 4 days, I was a new joining, started my career, was sitting in one corner of the room, and half of the things I didn't understand. I think we have come a long way from there. And hence, the new tools, induction, do it yourself, learn it your way. In Bharat Pay, I think a week back, we just reformed our induction program. It was a 1 day program. We've just shortened it to 2 hours. Because at that point of time, our challenge was if leaders have to take business sessions, my HR team was finding the leader, calling and finding. Now, through our LMS and through do it yourself, the induction has gone down to 2 hours. So that's the journey, if you'll see over decades, as individuals, we have seen it. So we see the positive of AI stepping in, automation of processes happening, and engagement of individual also lies in their own hands.
I'll just add my 2 cents to it. Trust me, when you do induction or onboarding with the help of such tools which gamify the whole experience, the adulation that you receive from new joiners is much more higher than the traditional or conventional way of doing it. And actually, it might sound just a first time high cost, but at the end of the day, the kind of experience you extend and the kind of retention you gain out of that badge is fantastic. So the ROI in real terms goes really, really high.
Anything, ma'am, you would like to add?
I think adding to what my colleagues have shared, previously when I also joined, it was like 1.5 month induction was going on. I was visiting different locations from south to east, east to west. And yes, these days with the support of AI, in 1 day maximum the induction part is done. So I think that's the beauty of the technology. And these are the humans, these are the business HR teams who are actually organizing it. So that human touch part is also there. It's not that we are completely on the technology part and there is no human intervention. So I think that's the beauty. And also the gamification is another part where, the employees who are coming first to the organization, that is their first experience. And for many of them, that is going to be their first job. So it is going to have a long-term life impact on the employee. So it means a lot when it comes to ROI, the employee, happiness index, and many other factors. So it is making a lot of sense.
And when we talk about compensation, just to complete the second
Just to
part.
finish this induction thing, I think there's a lot of. I mean, I'm reminded of that movie Munna Bhai where he questions the doctor that admission होने के लिए इतना paper भरने जरूरी है क्या? So that is induction, or that is the onboarding or joining, whatever term you give them. There's a huge file you have to put in everything. I think that is something which AI can really take it out. And I see it like this, that all these things which are very repetitive, mundane, you have been spending, the HR has been spending a lot of time on these things which can be completely machinized or automized or AI based, that releases time for a one-on-one conversation. And I would release that time of say 1 day to a 2 hour, and the next six hours I will be trying to spend time with that new joinee to build a relationship. So it gives a opportunity for the HR people as well as the line managers to come out of this whole routine thing and actually build a bond. I think that in induction or in on these sort of processes, the operations past can be machined, whereas the one that gives us a scope, time to spend more time on building relationships. Yeah. Now coming to compensation. Yeah.
So for compensation, I won't take much time because compensation itself is a very technical process. Right. So those min max, you remember the time when we were doing everything on Excel with macros, those smart sheets and everything. Now everything is so easy. So you talk about people success factors or SAP or any other module. I think they were quite pro when we talk about AI. The AI just added a small tadka, wherein you don't even have to see the outliers or inliers. It gives you everything ready-made, and that saves a lot of time. So I believe with compensation, in fact, you do it very religiously, scientifically, logically, then human judgment takes a back seat, and the real numbers, the crunching happens with the AI. That takes just minutes, actually just take minutes.
Anything on
Yeah,
compensation?
this is my favorite topic because if you'll see, I've been a reward specialist all my life, and that's where I progressed to the HR head position. And when I actually see again my days in Aeon Hewitt or in Nokia, as Neha mentioned, everything was in Excel, macros. And I still remember one of the reports which I was preparing for Thai Bank. We ran a macro which ran in a wrong way, and the way the data went, we were beaten up. And I'm sure this will not happen now because AI, analytics, data, they have been automated, which means reduction of error, which means reduces time. So a lot of things have progressed in the past decade. A lot of tools are easily available so that to the manager and to the business partner, there is a clear picture of where the comp ratio is, where the incumbent is from the market median. A lot of data is available so that the managers and HR can take meaningful decisions. Hence, I see this journey quite a fruitful journey where initially HR was considered as a support function, but because of these tools and so on, ad hocs that we do, we have become partners now. I don't hear anyone saying that HR is a support function. So that's the journey that we have covered. And I think as a reward specialist, I would say a lot has happened in this area so that meaningful decisions are being taken for the career of employees because we are talking about human beings by the end of the day.
Thank you. I'll come to you now. One thing where I see that a lot of AI is being used is to handle employee queries and questions and grievances. So what has been your experience in bringing in AI into better, I would say, employee experience?
So for Employee Connect, AI has really helped because the kind of business we are dealing in into scattered locations, geographies, and also into remotest of the locations. So employees are scattered, and when they are reaching. Then another one is taking good 1 day time for analyzing, then responding. So with AI, it has become very quick. So many of the things are actually not even coming as a query, they are readily available. The chatbot is helping them out with the details. So this has actually reduced the employee grievances, and it's more of a connect, so that human connect has increased. And when the connect used to happen previously, say 10 years back, it was all full of queries, and there were things which are unheard from last many years, and they are pending, so they are waiting for their HR folks to come and share their grievance. That part has reduced, and now when the connect happens, employee connect happens, that is really a valuable connect between the employee and the HR or the skip or the chiefs. That a real connect has actually came out now because of all this.
Right. Want to
I
add
would,
on
I would
add on to that? How does AI help in employee grievance or employee connect, employee awareness? Please.
I would like to give you an example. I really love this analogy when it comes to employee grievance handling through AI bot. Have you ever gone to Amazon AI bot when you had a complaint? So it gives you an option. First you chat, and then if you're not satisfied, it gives you an option connect to an agent, right? Either it is through the chat or you request a call back, right? And they immediately gives you a call back if your resolution is not reached. And then they send you an email as well,
Right.
right? That is the kind of promptness you need to have in your AI system. So just relying on AI system just to answer the basic queries won't work actually. It has to have this human touch, and that will only come when it connects to the HR managers. It connects to the decision maker. It connects you to the person who can actually understand you from the deepest level, where You are maybe psychologically disturbed, emotionally disturbed, you have a transactional query, or maybe it is related to the most important thing, money.
Well said.
Yeah.
Just to add on, anything to add on?
No, I think we've covered it, but one small comment from my side, as Neha mentioned, human connect is the key. We cannot replace it by AI or automation or chatbots. By the end of the day, we are human beings. We need that connect.
That's why we call it human resources, right? Not the AI resources. Yeah, so, but I mean, I truly agree to the overall, context of usage of AI. I think we've, from introducing a chatbot to taking it to a human, I think that's the journey. And as Harshita mentioned, that we're no more a transactional function. We're a strategic partner to the business, and bringing the technology and the innovation and the artificial intelligence to the whole process has only made us more efficient. And we are able to enable the business better to bring the kind of growth that we all are targeting. So I think that touch of AI has been the cherry on the cake, I would say.
I think I will come to one area of HR, I think, where AI has really, really impacted is learning and development, right? So I would like you to start by to what extent you are using AI for the learning management system, because most of the companies have an LMS, right? So if you can share some best practices which we can, steal with pride.
So, learning and development is a very important piece for our group because that's the key. Lot of positions, lot of development, we depend on the internal talent. So, development of the internal talent is the first priority. So, Gyankosh connect with LinkedIn, and we also have the internal academies running across the globe. So, people are connected through AI. So, Connect platform has a strong, development portfolio as well. What they are doing. So, every 3 months we have the competency development framework evaluated again. We see that the human requirements and their role keeps changing within a year also many times. So how we quickly we can adapt to their new competency framework. What are the new skills we want them to be updated, and how we can connect them to that development platform also. So that part for the HR folks, the teams who are working on the regular development piece, for them it has really helped because through Gyankosh, through LinkedIn, collaborative modules, it has really reached to the remotest locations, to the wide locations where very few employees are there, 2 to 3 employees. So there also the same development cycle has been uniformly implemented with the support of AI.
Very nice. Anything, Neha?
When it
Globally,
comes to
globally,
LMS,
anything on AI?
when it comes to LMS and AI, I really get touchy because we were actually not the ones who started learning from AI to foster learning. Why I said so. We all use Instagram. Instagram was actually the first organization or system that started learning from AI. So you see just one reel and further reels would follow, right? And that is the system that got actually replicated to organizations. Now, again, in organizations, since we saw Instagram evolving like that agility and alacrity, we started building our LMS on AI. But the question says, whether we have infused the right learning with the right people. So if you have your skills of employees rightly mapped in the system, then only an efficient AI can help. Otherwise, you just keep pushing on those MOOC, those bullet courses, capsule courses. Do you really understand whether that employee has taken those courses or really need it? Give them the space to understand whether they need it. Give them some flexibility, that Willow's room, where they can explore whether I need this or that, A or Z. So I believe the baseline of using AI with LMS is very important, and that will only come when you have the foundation, the skills, the employee demographics rightly mapped so that you can catch the interest.
Ma'am.
So for us in Bharat Pay or my previous organization, we had a lot of frontliners at the sales force or the collection agents because we were an NBFC and here we are a fintech. For them, it has really worked out because the new era LMS helps in gamification. Gamification of how you can achieve your targets. What are you missing in achieving your targets? So this has really helped us because with a workforce of 10,000 employees or 5,000 employees, it is not humanly possible to eventually have the journeys in place. And this is where I think the new era LMS really helps us.
Pretty much covered.
Right. So now I'm going to flip it. Okay. So I'm going to ask a question with all this AI coming in and more coming in. How much of your work, suppose your work is 100%, which includes from hire to retire, everything, how much of it you think AI would be doing, is capable of doing out of that 100%?
See, I think it's in pockets.
Just a percentage.
Yeah,
If 100 is
difficult.
all your job, then how much you think that AI would be doing now or in the next 10 years?
50 to 60%.
What about you, ma'am?
Just a second. I'm so sorry I'm interrupting. So Parul ma'am is here. She's super late, but she wants to join.
So sure.
Yeah.
Most welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Please. The rain, huh?
Yeah, sorry about that because obviously the traffic and the rain.
So please
has
introduce
contributed.
yourself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Parul and I head the HR function for an organization known as Instapower. And we lead the manufacturing and we are particularly, developing and manufacturing LED lights. And we do mostly government projects. We pick up only government tenders. We are only into, government, like I mentioned, big projects like PWD, CPWD, Airport Authority of India. And just for the larger use of the audience, we have done the lighting for the Ayodhya Ram Mandir. So that's it.
Great. So the question was, if 100 hours is your total HR work, how much in the next 10 years AI going to do out of that 100 hours? So
I think I'll give it to Parul first and then I'll take
sure.
Yeah, so I think, AI has evolved and it is evolving and technology is always going to be evolving. So doing that number crunching, AI, like we say, will take away our jobs. It's not going to happen that.
Okay.
It is going to be an amalgamation of AI and of human basic, which is going to take the system overall. So it's how the AI will throw us numbers, but the judgment will still remain with humans. And as HR professionals, we used to take that intelligence and that knowledge and that expertise, how we can optimize it the best.
So out of that 100 hours, how much you think in the next 10 years AI would be doing? How many hours of work would HR be taking away from you? Just a number. She said 50.
I think, are we looking at a 5-year span, 10-year span?
10-year span.
I think it will be maximum to 5. I go with that number calculation.
That means only 5% of the work
5 or 10%, yeah.
of the work would be done by AI.
Yeah, mundane tasks will be taken over by AI, but the rest of the human judgment, like I mentioned, the empathetic panel, the human element attached to it, that will be.
So how much you think would be taken?
I'll answer it very differently, this one, and then you can calculate what is the percentage. If we talk about HR, initially, historically, if we used to, the number of employees and the HR ratio, anyone from the group, we are close to 5 years back, what was the HR ratio to the employees? Anyone? I'm just checking if you guys are up or you're getting bored with our conversation. HR to employee ratio? Yeah, so 100, 200, 400, one HR to these many employees. So with AI automation, I think even if the business goes 10x, the HR workforce will not increase because the back-end processes will be thread together in such a way that all the operational activities, be it queries of the employees, running the payroll or the remuneration, where it is required is the human touch. And that's where HR would play a role as partnership, as business partners, or as strategic partners to the business. So to answer you, I think it would go to 60 to 70%, but the human touch, the strategy part of it will still remain.
I would just take an extension to what Harshita mentioned, and I would answer it in two parameters. One is 0% and 100%. Why I said 100%? Because if you talk about 10 years later, what we are doing right now will not be done after 10 years. So it will be actually 100% of the task that we are doing right now that will be taken care by AI, and 0% because after 10 years, whatever we will be doing will not be taken over by AI. That's it.
I think adding to what we have already shared as a group, I feel that if we are doing something in 100 hours with the support of AI, in next 5 years, we can do it in 60 hours. And after 10 years, we can do the same work with the support of AI, maybe in 20 hours. So there would be time to do many other activities. So the same people will be doing that activity, and AI is not taking over. It is going to be an enabler at every step to make it more progressive and supportive to the entire system.
Right. So, yes, so there is many things which AI would be doing. And if we take an average, say, if they take away, say, 50% of our work, which is routine, mundane, repetitive, uh, and there will be a lot of things which we are doing which will not require AI specialist. It can be done by other managers also, right? So my question, and I have only 30 seconds for each one of you, how will HR be relevant thereafter? Because if I want to write an appreciation letter today, the line manager is coming to me, uh, he will just go to an AI bot and ask, and he will get a draft and do it, right? If he wants to have a normal distribution done for his people, there is an AI, right? So I think HR has to really hone up some skills or capabilities which will keep them relevant even in a highly AI environment. So, what are those things in 2, 3 words from each one of you?
Yeah,
Yes.
like I just mentioned earlier also, the human element that AI can't take over completely. So when you connect with the employee, the empathy, the sympathy, the understanding human behavior, understanding what, going very deep, what could be the root cause of maybe he was writing a attrition letter, maybe he's writing a resignation letter, maybe it could be employee issues or grievances. But going deep and understanding the issue, that AI will just throw me numbers or could give me a guide path or a flow process to it. But the human element that I think AI will not be able to help me with it. And that's where we as HR professionals can step in, understand
So
it.
what is that thing as a learning initiative you would suggest for future HR to become more empathetic, more understanding of human behavior and all those things? So over to you. What do you think that specialist knowledge which has to come in, which the AI can never take away from you,
See,
which probably we don't have? We don't have.
artificial will always remain artificial. The human mind we can
No, I
never
know
be
that. So
replaced.
what,
You
what
can you
I
can
would
teach
what
the
I'm trying
machine.
to understand is that do you have you zeroed into these three things or these three skills or capabilities I have to develop?
Learn
I'm.
AI.
Huh?
Learn AI. Learn AI. That's it.
Great.
No, I
Okay.
feel,
I
can I
would
just
say
answer it?
Yeah, please.
I think it's understanding the business more, understanding the individual more, not just as an employee, but as a human being. Because you know what HR is all about? Human resources. Connecting with an employee and making him feel the warmth that you're still a part of the organization, you're still valued, you're still looked upon. The kind of work that you do, we really value it, and the respect that you give to the human being. So I think that value and respect as a human being, not as an employee, that will help
Want
us.
to add anything, and then I will go to Sir. You want to say something? So yeah, I mean, someone the mic or don't put.
Great stuff. I have a question for Kumkum, I think. For junior level hiring, mid level hiring, you might be using AI. You said you are using it for leadership hiring. So, how is that working out? And where will companies like Corn Ferry and Agonzender go if even leadership hiring? Because there's a lot of behavior and culture fit which is to be looked into, people motivation. That's question one. Question two, are you setting up or getting involved in center of excellences where digital transformation is change management? So HR is hugely involved in terms of motivating people that pick it up. Organization is changing. So are there center of excellence work happening? Is HR playing a role over there?
So I will take your second part first. In our company, we have just for the last 1 year, we have gone into S4 HANA, the complete digital transformation, and the HR team is absolutely involved, right? And now we are leading it because there's one part where we go live, okay? But the more important and more uphill task is the adoption, right? So we have just gone live. So now the whole e-parivartan, which we say is the digital transformation, till the go live was being led by the IT head. The adoption is being led by me. So there is a huge role of transformation where HR has to play. So far as leadership hiring, how does AI play a role? I can take any two other questions, please. Yeah, coming to you. Yeah.
Sure. Just to answer your question one, I think that's
On
more relevant.
leadership
And
hiring, how
especially
can
Kallol has already taken up the second question. Leadership hiring has given us a very different perspective, you know. The bias that we as leaders can have in selecting the candidates, that's the bias that AI helps us to remove. Because, you know, as leaders, sometimes we get into that mode that we know it all. And when we get into that mode, we know it all of, or if there is a perception, or if anybody has changed frequent jobs, he's a job hopper. All of this element of removing the bias comes from AI, comes from, the skills and the competency that we feed in. And by the way, the AI bot also, when they interview, they don't interview on their own. We feed them with skills, competencies. There are multiple times the pre-fed questions that we give it to the bot so that he or she brings in the element of questioning it to the level wherein humans also cannot probe, So I think that bias removal, the strategic part, there are times when you have to probe to a certain extent. All of it helps us do it on the leadership part. And by the way, you'll be surprised to know leaders take it very welcoming. They feel that this is the kind of transformation that a metal and mining conglomerate can think of. So that's how it gets answered. And by the way, for the Conferry and the search firm bit
Yes, there
for
is
you.
another question. Do you have the mic?
Yeah. No. So I was just completing it from the Conferry and the search firms that you were talking about. They are also adopting AI in their whole process. So it's a combination, as the leaders said already.
Thank you so much. There's another question.
Thank you so much. Panel, I came for perspectives. I got a lot of them. My name is Ravi. I work at JLL at the intersection of process and technology. So my job currently is HR transformation. So this is the panel I came for. And must I say, I got all of it. One question I have for everyone on the panel, please, is the biggest challenge we face is the people layer. Processes, technology come easier. I would like to understand what kind of levers you could recommend we look at to change the behavior aspect, where we are looking for, let's say, talent acquisition folks to pick up the latest AI technology we have brought in. A quick context, I led an initiative since last August that was rewarded gold in the last week's conference for People Matters. That was one initiative in which we completely transformed Ask HR, the HR ops side of HR ops layer of AI. But now I'm starting a project on the TA side, and I'd love to understand the kind of perspectives I can get from the panel on how we can approach changing behaviors of our managers, leaders, and I'm talking CXO leaders even, heads of India, APAC, regional leaders. I'll be doing that in the coming weeks. Would be lovely to have a perspective on how we can approach that.
Yeah, so the human touch. Yeah. So when we are going to
Don't worry. Don't worry. We have got on 30 seconds. Very clear how to change.
So behavior require a lot of human aspect. We can leverage technology in the current, sector where I am into. Human factor is mostly very important to work on the behavioral part. AI helps us in identifying, in providing solutions and developmental goals, but that has to be, implemented with the support of the human aspect.
So I'll go a step back and I'll say there's something known as psychometric testing, if we've all heard about DISC, right? So organizations, do this psychometric testing and the DISC profiling. There's nothing good or bad in it. It's just a behavior and a personality that comes out, right? And when the behavior and the personality comes out, basis which you match it with your JD and put the employee or the candidate in that particular role, right? So you know already the aspects and the behavior. So again, coming back to the same question, something which has a personality, you can't change it much. You have these IDPs. It's an inbuilt, inherent trend. Like I can't change my face unless I go for a plastic surgery or something. But you can always point out in terms of your IDPs, when you have an individual development programs, when you give the feedbacks to the employees, and of course, leveraging technology is happening, irrespective of it is there or not there. We've always been using AI, like Google Maps was always there, but it's just that AI has now come into the picture, right? So those IDPs and that connecting with the employees is very important and imperative to give that proper feedback to the employee / candidate so that he fits up in the right kind of place that he's actually suited for. So that's what I'd say.
10 seconds, don't change. They will eventually change, they can't escape. Don't change, don't try.
I think I would say, technology can help you find your opportunity areas. Now, whether you want to work on those opportunity areas which has been identified is self-motivation.
I think the panel pretty much covered. I don't want to say for the sake of it.
I have got a very different perspective, and that is what I was doing TPM with someone called Suzuki-san, and the same question, bloody no one changes. So he said one thing, that you, your dad, your dad's dad, your dad's dad, do you know how they changed? Every time your parent, your father's parent have told when you were a toddler, not to put the finger into the flame. But no kid in this world ever listened to his parents or her parent. He or she learned the right behavior by actually putting his tiny finger into the flame and getting burnt. If you want to change behavior, if you want to stop any behavior, have a rigid consequence management. If you do this way, you get a challan. And if you want to encourage a behavior, have a very fair try to build a reward. And if you want to change a neural network negatively, you have to penalize. So my question is that have a real penal system and a real reward system. Right. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for doing, and thank you the audience for a patient hearing.
Thank you. I'll take this one. I am extremely sorry. If it would have been in my hand, I wouldn't have stopped you. I'm extremely sorry. And now I would like to call Mr. Sushil Sharma. Ma'am, please stay back. Stay back. Please stay back. Mr. Sushil Sharma from Aprajita Corporate Services. Sir, can you please come for the felicitation ceremony? A big round of applause for all the panelists. It was a wonderful session and our very dear moderator. Now, I would like to start with Ms. Neha Agarwal, GM HR, Hitachi India. Ms. Harshita Khanna, CHRO, Bharat Pay. Ms. Kumkum Agarwal, Director, Talent Execution, Vedanta Group. Ms. Deeksha Singh, Head, BHR and CSR, PTL and Transmission, TBCB Projects, Tata Power. Ms. Parul Johar, Organization, Instapar. And now the last, our moderator, Mr. Kallol Chakraborty, Head Group, Corporate HR, INOXGFL Group. And request for a group photograph all together.